everybody, it's Gemma here from madebygemacrafts.co.uk. Thank you for joining me again today. Today being Tuesday, it is Technique Tuesday. So what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks on a Tuesday is publishing a video tutorial on various different paper crafting techniques, etc, etc. So this is my card for this week. And we are going to be doing some masking, but we're going to mask our stamps. So as you can see on this card here, the word congrats is stamped in Calypso Coral ink, and the little lines coming off are actually stamped in Peekaboo Peach. This is all one stamp, which is in the Scenic Sayings set, which is in the annual catalogue. So all I've simply done is masked off each side and stamped it separately to build up the two different colours. So another example of this is here on this box. This stamp, happiest birthday, is from the Cool Treats stamp set, and this is one stamp, but I have masked it in two different sections, and then I've been able to stamp it in two different colours, which is quite nice. And another example on this cube that I've decorated, I used the Sealed with Love stamp set to decorate this cube, and this stamp actually says sealed with a kiss. So what I did was I masked off the word kiss and just stamped it without, and then I used the little lip stamp that comes in the set to pop a little lip kiss on there, which is quite cute. So if I just pop this out the way, I will show you how I've done it. So as I said, we're going to be using the Scenic Sayings stamp set, and here are the bits and bobs for our card. I'm just making a small 4x4 card today. So I've got some very vanilla for my card base, a square of Bermuda Bay, and another square of the Cupcakes and Carousels Designer Series paper stack, which is in the Spring Summer catalogue. And I've got two different colour inks. I've got my Bermuda Bay and Calypso Coral. So if I pop these little bits for the card, this is just a piece of very vanilla that we're going to stamp on. So to help getting our stamp in the right place, it's really handy to have a stamp positioning tool, like a Misty or We Are Memory Keepers have got one as well, and there's various different craft companies that are releasing these stamping positioning tools. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on this, but if I've learned anything about Stampin' Up since I've been with them, I have a feeling we might be getting one in our new annual catalogue, which is released in June. So you'll have to watch this space, and there's no promises. I have no insider knowledge or anything, but I have a feeling maybe that Stampin' Up will be releasing their own stamping positioning tool. There is one you can purchase from Stampin' Up. It's a Stampin'-Majig. I personally have never used one, so I don't know how hard they are to use, how easy they are to use. But this kind of thing, you could use a Stampin'-Majig for this. It's the same kind of principle, because you need to be able to stamp back down exactly where you stamped before. So this here is my homemade Misty or stamp positioning tool. I watched a YouTube tutorial by a lady called Jen Evers, and she showed us how to make a handy travel sized stamp positioning tool. I will put a link to her tutorial in the description box for this video, because I cannot take any credit for the invention of this or how she made it, because it's her idea, not mine. I just made it and it works. So I'm just going to pop in my piece of card that I'm going to stamp on. I'm just going to pop that there in the middle, and then I'm going to grab my stamp out, and I'm just going to pop that in the middle here and just give that a really good push down to make sure it's stuck firmly onto my CD case, like so. So now what we need to do is, here I've got some washi tape. You could use some masking tape, any sort of low tack tape will do for this. Washi tape is ideal because you can tear it and rip it to whatever size you need. So first of all, I'm going to start by covering up our main sentiment in the middle, the congrats. Because one thing I have found as well is easier to cover up and stamp your lightest colour first, because you can, if you're not careful, can get a little splodgy. But if you do it in your lightest colour first, working back towards your darkest colour, so in my case here I'm using Calypso Coral and Bermuda Bay, I will be stamping my Calypso Coral first, because the Bermuda Bay will cover up any little imperfections with the Calypso Coral. So I'm just going along and just popping my washi tape over the top of the word congrats. And because Stampin' Up stamps are such great quality, you can, and they're so thickly embossed and stamped, or however they're made, you can actually just use your nail just to push down the tape around your word here. And I've just got a little bit more where the G is. I'm just going to grab another piece, mould that around. There we go. So there we go, we've got all our word in the centre covered up. So all we're going to do now is ink up our stamp as we normally would to stamp. Just carefully ink it up. Make sure it's nicely covered. There we go, just shut that up. Now, one thing to remember when you are doing this technique, always remember to remove the washi tape, because earlier on I was having a go and I forgot to take my washi tape off for when I was doing the outside, and it does transfer. So what we want to do is just peel this off like so, and then we can close this over, push down gently, there we go, and there we go, our little lines are all stamped there. So now all we need to do is just grab a wipe and just give my stamp a wipe off in between. Just using a baby wipe here with a little bit of Stampin' Mist on it, like so. Then make sure it's nice and dry before you pop your washi tape on for your next bit. So now we want to stamp our word congrats. So we're just going to mask over our little lines here. You might have to do this in a couple of sections just to get around the letters. But you can have all sorts of fun with this technique. And also you can manipulate your stamps to say what you want as well. So if you don't quite like a whole sentiment, like I was making a card for someone and I was using the beautiful U stamp set, and I just wanted it to say happy birthday. I didn't want it to say happy birthday gorgeous. So once again I got the washi tape out, just covered it over, covered up the word gorgeous, so it just said happy birthday. There really is no end to what you can do with this technique. It's absolutely fabulous. There we go, so we'll just pop some at the top. And once you've done it a few times, you get used to where to put the tape and whatnot. We're just nearly done, need a little bit more down the bottom here. I mean, the other thing is you don't want to use your favourite washi tape for this, so maybe if you, I know you can pick washi tapes up in the pound shop or places like the Range for around £1 a roll. So there we go, just make sure our stamp's all nice and secure. So I'm just going to take my second colour now and ink up my stamp like so. I'm just going to peel away my washi tape, hopefully not get too much ink all over my fingers. There we go. And we're just going to simply close this over again, push down, and there we have our sentiment all stamped in 2 different colours using the masked technique. So if we just move my little magnets out of the way, I can pop this over here. So now all we need to do is cut out our sentiment, and I'm going to use the stick shaped framelits. I'm going to use one of the circle dies. So one moment. So there we go, I've now die cut our sentiment. I'll just lift this out like so. So there's our sentiment. So if we bring in the other bits for our card, we can start popping this all together now. So to start with, I'm just going to layer up my pattern paper onto my Bermuda Bay card. Bring that down a little. So it's quite difficult doing it on camera because I feel like I'm so far away. There we go, like that. And I've got some ribbon here. This ribbon is from the Cupcakes and Carousels suite. It's the accessory kit that goes with that suite, and this is some Calypso Coral ribbon that is ombre style, which is lovely. So we've got a bit of that. Now I'm just going to tie a quick knot in this. So one technique I use for doing a knot in a ribbon for the front of my card is I've got a Stampin' Up marker here. Just going to place my ribbon around it, tie it in a knot once and in a knot twice, like so, and then I'm just going to slide this off of my marker like so. So we've got our little loop in the middle. And then I'm just going to snip across at an angle, and there we go, we've got a cute little knot style bow. So I'm just going to pop this onto my card, put some glue dots to fix it on. one there. There we go, make sure I'm around the right way. So one on that side. Ooh. Quite far over enough. There we go. Just the edge of that ribbon there, and then we're going to pull this over across, pop another glue dot on to secure it on the back, like so. So there we have our card front ready to pop on to our base. So let's just use a nice bit of wet glue for this, right across the back. You just pop that on the front like so. Then we just need some dimensionals to go on our sentiment, and I always make sure I use all of the bits around the edge of my dimensional sheet. There we go. So we can just push that up out the way for a moment and just pop on our little sentiment here. Just grab that piece of ribbon out, and that can just sit on there like so. So there's our card. That was super simple. So I hope you've enjoyed the video today. As always, I will put a link to my blog, so any measurements for the card and a full list of the items that I've used to make my card will be on there as well. I'll also put a link in the description box so you can shop with me 24/7 online directly with Stampin'Up. And until next week, thank you and bye bye.